When people talk about failure, they often imagine it as something dramatic, a business collapse, a public mistake, a dream shattered overnight. But the truth is, that's almost never how it happens. Success rarely ends with a bang. It fades away slowly, quietly, almost politely. It's not the earthquake that destroys the foundation. It's the tiny cracks left unfixed that weaken it over time. The same applies to your goals, your discipline, and your ambition. The true danger is not in one large bad choice. It's in the little, nearly imperceptible decisions we make on a daily basis that nudge us just a little off target. Failure is simply a few errors in judgment, repeated every day. That's it. Nothing apocalyptic, nothing frightening. Just a bunch of little errors repeated. One day you skip reading that book you vowed you'd read. The next day you sleep in an extra hour. You let the gym slip. You put off that phone call. You avoid that opportunity. And sooner or later, those little choices become your new habit. Habits don't require permission. They require repetition. And what you repeat, you become. Think of it like this: a ship, which is only a degree out of course, doesn't realize until later. The first mile, it's still going in the general direction. But after a few hundred miles, that 1 degree mistake has taken it to a totally different port. That's the way life works as well. Small changes in attitude, unconscious choices, and forsaken disciplines creepily alter the course of our entire life. Not precipitously, but surely. The issue is those little things don't come across as risky when we're doing them. Skipping one workday, one journal page, one healthy meal, harmless. Nobody notices it, nobody says anything, and there are no immediate repercussions. So we let our guard down. We rationalize that's okay. And that is precisely how mediocrity creeps in, subtly, softly, cozily. It doesn't burst the door open, it simply walks in when you forget about it. And here's the second half of the truth: success is the same. It's constructed quietly in the subtle daily disciplines no one ever applauds. Reading for 20 minutes a day. Scheduling your morning before you lay hands on your phone. Saying no to distractions that drain your energy. All of these acts are tiny, but they are the quiet engineers of an extraordinary life. Just as repeated small mistakes can ruin your success, repeated small disciplines can build it. But since the payoff from discipline is delayed, most give up before the reward comes. We live in a culture that honors instant results, instant fame, instant wealth, instant comfort. But success is not something that happens, it's something compounded. Every act of self-discipline is a brick added to the foundation of your success. Every good habit is an investment of small things that work quietly until one day the outcome is undeniable. The irony is, by the time most folks know what their habits have constructed, it's too late to turn it around. It's simple to underestimate the force of little actions because they don't make news. No one pays attention when you write in your journal at night. No one cheers when you put away an extra 50. No one applauds when you decline that diversion. But each of those tiny moments pays off. They're invisible threads stitching the tapestry of your future. So does the force of the little moments of abandonment. They're not bad in and of themselves. But collectively, they creep up behind you and lead you away from the life you might have had. The actual fight for success does not occur on stage or in the limelight. It occurs in the hours when you're no one's observer. It occurs when you're being tempted to neglect the hard thing, to take a shortcut, to make an excuse. That's where success is made or broken. The world only knows the outcome, but the outcome is only the reverberation of your habits. You can't observe erosion and progress, but eventually the ground gives way. That's what becomes a success when it's ignored. It doesn't collapse in an instant. It's been crumbling slowly all along. And it's not just about what you do, it's also about how you think. One negative thought repeated over time becomes a belief. One doubt that you entertain too many times becomes a mindset. And eventually, all those silent beliefs begin to tell you what to do. You cease attempting new things because you believe you're not ready. You cease to express yourself because you believe you are not good enough. You cease to dream because you believe it is too late. Bit by bit, your potential is smothered by the burden of your own mind. That's why awareness is so important. You can't change what you don't notice. The success killers creep up on you within your habits, within your self-talk, within your rationals. They masquerade as comfort, as rest, as innocent indulgence. But each time you opt for short-term convenience at the expense of long-term development, you exchange a part of your potential for a fleeting comfort. And the heartless thing is, you won't know it yet. The undermining is silent until one day you turn around and discover you are nowhere near where you desired to be. Change begins with awareness. You cannot alter what you do not know. You cannot overcome what you refuse to acknowledge. Most people spend their lives fighting the symptoms of failure, never realizing that the real disease lies in the small, hidden habits that have gone unnoticed for years. Awareness acts as the light in a dark room. It doesn't remove the obstacles immediately, but it reveals where they are. And once you can see clearly, the solution becomes apparent. Success isn't about trying harder in the dark. It's about flicking the switch and illuminating where your effort is really needed. Life does not improve by accident. It improves by change. But change cannot start without awareness. Awareness is the soft teacher that whispers, "This is where you are, and this is why you're here." It's not judgmental. It's not cruel. It's just honest. Most people flee from that honesty because it makes them uneasy. They get distracted with noise, with work, with entertainment, anything to keep from having to look at the truth of their habits and choices. But until you confront reality, you can't remake it. Awareness requires bravery, the bravery to see your life the way it actually is, rather than the way you'd like it to be. That is why awareness is the first healing. Because success's silent assassins flourish in ignorance. They live in the shadows of your everyday. They bask in the unobserved. When you wake up, you shine a light on them. You bring the complacency, the excuses, the distractions, and the fears out into the light. And by simply looking at them for what they are, you undermine their grip on you. The instant you see that your habits are leading you down the path of your life, you begin to reclaim your way. The instant you realize your words frame your mentality, and your mentality frames your destiny, you begin being selective about them. Awareness does not mean you turn around overnight. It means you start recognizing what needs to be transformed. Imagine waking up from a deep sleep. Initially, your eyes fight to adjust to the light. It is not comfortable. You may even wish to sleep in again because it's simpler. But when your eyes get clear, you start seeing all the stuff that has been there all along. You see where you've wasted time, where you've compromised, where you've been using the phrase someday instead of today. Awareness doesn't bring new issues. It shows the ones that have been quietly guiding your life behind your back. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. But first you have to know where you stand. Awareness provides that foundation. Without it, you're only in the dark, stumbling through life rather than in control of it. Most people don't fail because they're not trying. They fail because they don't know. They don't see that their small, consistent actions are creating their destiny. They don't know that their circle of influence is impacting their mindset. They don't know that what they say, said often enough, becomes real to them. Awareness puts the dots between action and outcome together. A second truth about awareness is that it requires honesty without self-pity. When you see your errors, your ignored disciplines, your lost time, you want to feel sorry for yourself. But used well, regret is instruction. It shows you. It reminds you that you can start again, wiser this time, stronger this time. Awareness converts regret into responsibility. Now that you know better, you can do better. Awareness empowers you to stop drifting and begin designing. No longer are you a passenger in your life, but the pilot. Awareness also shifts your relationship with time. When you're unaware, days and weeks go by and they don't mean anything. You claim to begin someday, and before you know it, a year has passed. But when you're present, each day is an opportunity to change your direction. You become conscious of the small choices, the ones that get you closer to where you want to go or further away from it. You begin questioning yourself more effectively. Is this helping me grow? Is this getting me where I want to go? Is this propelling me forward or keeping me stuck? Awareness lends significance to time, and significance lends purpose to effort. It also changes the way you think about failure. When you don't know failure is the end, it's personal, it's final. But when you do know failure is feedback, you perceive it as a sign, not a sentence. You start seeing patterns which give rise to those outcomes and you change them. You learn quicker, you heal quicker, and you become smarter. Consciousness makes errors turn into mirrors. They reflect what is in need of attention. Rather than being caught off guard by failure, you become a student of it. You no longer fear the fall because you have discovered how to stand taller with each recovery. The strength of awareness is in its simplicity. It doesn't take money, talent, or connections. It takes attention. It takes presence. It invites you to halt rushing, halting numbing, halt running, and look at your life with open eyes. And when you begin paying attention, you see everything that once remained invisible. You notice how you speak to yourself, how you spend your time, how you respond to obstacles, how you treat people, how you work with opportunity. Awareness takes away excuses and brings to light the truth behind. And if you can see the truth, whether you like it or not, you are the key to change. Success is no longer a secret. It's a mirror. It mirrors your habits, your mind, your discipline, and your awareness. The 7 silent success killers don't kill your dreams in one night. They whittle away at them quietly day by day, while you're occupied looking the other way. But when you're aware of them, when you start noticing how little decisions make big differences, the power is back in your hands. Success is something you attract by the person you become. That's the essence of this whole message. In order to become successful, you need to become conscious of what's working, of what's holding you back, and of what needs to shift. Growth starts the moment you quit blaming and begin to observe. Each choice you make is a seed. You might not see the harvest tomorrow, but one day you will. The question is, will you be satisfied with what grows, or will you wish you had planned it otherwise? Success doesn't have to yell. It doesn't insist on being heard. It's subtle, consistent, and persistent. It resides in your habits, in your thoughts, in your everyday decisions. Guard it, cultivate it, and recall, your future isn't set by what occurs to you, but by what occurs through you. When you choose to look clearly, act with intention, and live on purpose, the 7 silent assassins can only kill your success if you allow them to remain quiet. So don't wake up, listen up, take back the pen, and begin rewriting your narrative one focused day at a time.